Bonjour, madame et mademoiselle. It is with deepest pride
and greatest pleasure
that we welcome you to
See you real soon.
This week, we are bringing you all the way to a distant land known as Canada.
Canada.
Cold. Dark. It snows 365 days a year. We will be bringing you to Cellier.
That is right. We heard from you that you wanted to hear more about Cellier, so we're here to tell you more.
Cellier is an incredibly popular restaurant in Epcot at the Canadian Pavilion. You should really consider making reservations 6 months before you go there.
I even think 6 months on the day can be hard to get reservations.
It's gotten a little bit easier with the change in cancellation policy, but still, I mean, if you're looking 3 months out, you really won't have a choice in time. You may have to go at a really odd time, if you can even get in at all.
In making that reservation, when do we recommend you should eat there?
We recommend lunch. It is a lot cheaper. A lot cheaper. If you're on the Disney dining plan, Cellier is currently 1 credit for lunch. However, that changes January 1st, 2013. It will then be 2 credits for both lunch and 2 credits for dinner. 2013 it changes. I'm repeating myself over and over again.
2013. Did you get it, guys?
Yes. What is Cellier like?
Well, let's start with the name. Cellier means the cellar. So they went with that theme and ran with it. And you do feel like you're in a wine cellar, which is a very, very nice and romantic and somewhat quiet setting.
It's a very small amount of tables. There's very limited space. So that's, on top of being such a great restaurant food-wise, it's also very limited in seating. So that contributes to why it's so hard to get into.
And so something that usually your waitress or waiter will share with you is that the restaurant is
broken down?
Broken into different provinces, all the different provinces of Canada.
So depending on where you sit, you're in a different province. We've been in Prince Edward Island,
Ontario,
Quebec, Manitoba. I think that's one.
So the last time we went to Cellier, we went at a different time than we usually do, and that was 11:30 a.m. when it first opens for lunch.
That's right. And we got to see something that we'd never seen before, and that's they do a little show when they open the restaurant.
Yeah, it's a tradition that they say they have, and they basically sing "Oh Canada," and it's really cute and funny.
Yep. And they even do a little bump, bump, bump when they're supposed to have music coming in and whatever. It's really cute.
It's like all the waiters and waitresses come together to do it. So that was just a fun little thing that we got to see, which we'd never seen before.
But if you can't make it for 11:30 in the morning, fear not. There's always something going on at Cellier to keep you entertained while you wait. So if they're waiting for your table, they sometimes do trivia, where there'll be one of the servers will just be there reading off of a card, and they'll give you stickers if you get them right. It's all questions about Canada. What is their national sport? It's not hockey. And all these other things, like what's on their loonie or what's on their toonie.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. So just study on Canada before you go so you can look smart.
Yes. I think they're the only restaurant in all of Disney that I've seen that are so interactive in the lobby.
So when they sit you down, the first thing they bring you will be complimentary bread. There are 3 different kinds. One is to die for.
I think it may be my favorite thing in all of Disney. I know people like the Dole Whip and that orange drink in France, but mine is the pretzel bread.
So good.
It's so good. If the meal wasn't so good, I would literally just eat the bread all day long.
And they'll bring you more, so feel free to eat all the bread you want. They'll bring you more of a specific one. So the 3 breads are pretzel bread. There's a sourdough and a multigrain. Really, the pretzel bread's where it's at. I mean, you say, can I get more? And they go, pretzel bread? Like, they know.
Yeah. So then it's time to order, and we have a few favorites.
For appetizers, we recommend the Canadian cheddar cheese soup. If you're into soup, if not, there's also macaroni and cheese, which is baked, which can be good, but they usually will bring that as a side with your meal.
And then there's the French fries, which we weren't as big of a fan, but if you're interested in trying that, it's cool. Poutine. And then we always get the same meal.
Le Cellier's specialty is the wild mushroom filet mignon with
a white
wild
truffle
mushroom risotto and like a white truffle sauce. Yeah.
I think the last 2 times we actually went, we were with people that aren't fans of mushroom and were really nervous, but they really still enjoyed it. I think they were afraid of the texture, but it all is just really blended in together and it tastes really good. The
pieces of mushroom are really small. They're not like huge mushrooms on top of your steak.
Yeah.
And the risotto itself is delicious too. And the truffle sauce.
And the meat literally just like falls apart. It's
the best steak that we've had on Disney property. So we mentioned earlier that you'll want to do lunch versus dinner if you're on a budget. And just a quick example of that is the wild mushroom fillet is $28 for lunch currently and $43 for dinner. And the size is not much different, if at all. I mean, obviously it could change, but...
If you're afraid it won't be filling, just fill up on the pretzel bread. It's free!
They'll bring you more.
So it is a steakhouse, but if you're not in a steak mood or don't like it, there are other options.
They have salmon, they have pork chops, they have other kinds of steak, which I guess if you're not into steak doesn't really appeal to you.
And then desserts, we're not really experts on.
Because there's no room for dessert after you've eaten 4 pieces of pretzel bread and the entire filet and risotto.
I don't think we've ever heard of anything that's a real specialty there, but if you do still have room, ask the waitress.
Yeah, they'll recommend something.
So something that you might already know about All of the World Showcase is that all of the staff that work in all the different countries are actually from that country. It's part of a program that they're in, so it's lots of fun. We always tend to ask them questions about where they're from, and they're always really happy to share, because sometimes they're homesick.
They always have some good stories about stuff that gets sent to them from their parents back home that's like something that's typical back there, but you can't find here. It's kind of cool.
I remember that girl. She was cool.
Time for our personal ratings. Out of 5 stars, what do you give Le Cellier?
Pretty much 5, maybe like 4.75, just because...
So expensive?
Yeah, it's just a little expensive, but I would say for the most part it's worth it.
If it's in your budget, it's a 5-star restaurant. So, we have a question for you. Since we have a Canadian theme this week, we thought we'd pull out a Canadian trivia question. So, what cuddly bear gets his name from a Canadian city?
And for extra credit, anyone that wants that out there, what Canadian city was that?
So again, leave us a comment. Woo, 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 woo. And tell us the answer.
And since you were already sharing how much you loved Le Cellier, share some more memories or advice that you have as well.
Let people know what you think about things. You got a recommendation for dessert? Let people know so that when they see this video, they won't have no idea about dessert because we have no idea about dessert.
Right.
So I guess that's it. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Until next time.
See you real soon.
Ashley's 21st birthday. And look what Le Cellier brought her. It's a nice happy birthday thing. And it had a candle on top, which she got to blow out. And it's a s'more thing. Yeah, those are marshmallows.
Yeah.
And it's a s'more.
Yep, that's what I ordered. And what did you get?
I got chocolate on chocolate cake. But Ashley is the birthday girl. Yay! Happy birthday to you.